a month away from Selection Sunday, but this Saturday, the NCAA Selection Committee releasing the top 16 seeds. Here you have them, your number 1 seeds, top row, left to right, Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and Ohio State. The entire 2021 Men's Basketball Championship will be played in Indiana, with majority of the tournament's 67 games taking place in Indianapolis. We now have the pleasure of welcoming in our bracketologist, Jerry Palm, as we sit just over a month from Selection Sunday. During the selection committee releasing those early top 16 seeds on CBS. No surprises, Gonzaga, Baylor, top 2, but Michigan, Ohio State, they were the other 1 seeds. What were your biggest takeaways from the selection committee's early top 16?
Well, I thought Michigan was an obvious number 1 seed as well, with only 1 loss on the season before they went into their pause that was imposed upon them by the health department there in Michigan. We'll see them tomorrow, hopefully at Wisconsin, and see how they come out of it. But Ohio State, Illinois, Villanova all had a case to be 1 seeds. They went with Ohio State. They obviously really liked the top of the Big Ten because 3 of the top 5, Illinois was number 5 overall. But for me, you know, the teams, you can nitpick seeds if you want among that group. They were the 16 teams that belonged on this chart. But I think that you're seeing where eye test is going to matter a little bit more this year than it has in other years, in particular with Virginia, who's only beaten 1 team in my full bracket, and that's Clemson, all season long, but has played very well of late, and it's looked good. And so they may not have a 3-seed profile, but the eye test has got them pushed up. And there's some other examples among these top 16, but I think with the shortened schedules this year, eye test may have more relevance than it normally does.
Let's talk about some teams not locked into the tournament just yet. Officially bubble watch season. So taking a look at your last 4 in entering Saturday, Jerry, you currently have Indiana, LSU, North Carolina, and Boise State. What is it about these teams having them on the right side of the bubble right now?
Well, it's usually the differentiator is something like strength of schedule or quality wins, or, you know, something that when you're comparing these teams with the ones that have just missed, the comparisons aren't always one thing. It's really just what distinguishes 2 teams from each other. But the last 4 in kind of gives you an indication of one of the things we've talked about a lot this year, which is how the Blue Bloods are struggling. You know, Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky are not in the bracket at all. And here you've got 2 Blue Bloods among the last 4 in Indiana and North Carolina. So they're no sure things either. We could have an NCAA tournament missing a lot of the big names that we are used to seeing.
Well, talking about the outside looking in, we're taking a look at your first 4 out entering Saturday. Right now you have Seton Hall, Maryland, Wichita State, and Stanford in these spots. What can these teams do to find themselves on the right side of the bubble come next month?
Well, Seton Hall, of course, is playing in the Big East, so they'll have some opportunities for some good wins, and Stanford the same for them. But Wichita State really kind of has a problem because they don't really have any bad losses other than a 20-point loss to Memphis, which is bad because of the margin, not because Memphis isn't any good. But the problem for them is there's nobody in the American Conference that you can resume build with except Houston. So if Wichita State doesn't find a way to beat Houston in either the regular season or the conference tournament, it's really hard for them to make a case as an at-large team. And then on top of that, they can't afford to lose to anyone else. So they've got to put together a winning streak against teams that they should beat and then hope they catch Houston at one time or another so that they can get into the tournament either as a conference automatic qualifier or as an at-large team.
If it's bubble watch season, you know we are talking to our Jerry Palm. Thank you so much for the time, my friend. Again, here's a look at the teams with the best odds to win March Madness come tournament time. No surprises, Gonzaga and Baylor, 1 and 2 on the list, followed by Villanova, and then a few teams, to say the least, in the Big Ten.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.